There are four things in this life that will change you: love, music, art, and loss. The first three will keep you wild and full of passion. May you allow the last to make you brave. Eric Van Veer. It's Burgess Taylor, and this is going to be a bit like a coffee chat because that's what y'all requested. So I have my cuppa. Grab you a cuppa because I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit of a long video. Why a newsletter? It's all about going all in with my passions, changing my mindset, having the confidence to push myself forward, to go all in towards following my dreams, achieving my goals, and getting out of my comfort zone. With this new mindset, owning my dreams, my goals, I feel like the newsletter is the next step, a step in the right direction. I had no intention of doing a newsletter. I started a blogging class and it was a freebie. Now, of course, they had where you could sign up for the paid version, which was more in-depth and detailed, but I couldn't afford that. But in order to go all in with my passions and follow my dreams, achieve my goals, I had to take some kind of leap of faith. Like Kevin Costner said in The Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. Well, I thought, go all in and they will come. So I took a little bit of a leap of faith. I did talk to Constant Contact. I signed up for their free trial, and when I was talking to the guy who's like, the newsletter, it's like, look, I don't really think I need a newsletter. And I said, I definitely don't want one of those same old kind of newsletters like some of the ones I receive in my email. I said, some people's newsletters are great. They're engaging, they're interesting, and then some I only open because I know it'll leave a link to whatever it is that they're currently doing, like their current blog post. So that's what I do. But their newsletter itself, not so much. And he took a long, hard look at how and what I have on social media. My website, my YouTube channel. He even glanced at Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, my Facebook group, and my Facebook self, the personal page and the page. I don't do a whole lot with the page, and I need to do more. So anyway, and he told me I was right, that I didn't need the same old newsletter, that I didn't need a regular newsletter. I needed something that was more me. And I wasn't so sure, but there are times in life when we go through something that so transforms us that we are changed at the core of our the self. And last year when my dad died and my mom almost died within 24 hours of each other, I was changed. Over and over while at my mom's bedside, while pacing the hall of the ICU ward and then pacing the hall of the regular hospital floor when she was in a regular room, I kept hearing my dad's voice and one of the last conversations that I had with my dad. And he told me that I was much stronger than I thought, stronger than others and myself included gave myself credit for, that I was smart and tough. And there's a quote by Atticus that sums that conversation up and what I got from that conversation and how I felt after it was all said and done. She was powerful, not because she wasn't scared, but because she went on so strongly despite the fear. My mom doesn't remember much about the 9 days she spent in the hospital, but she does remember me being there. They told her that I saved her life, and in some ways I guess I did, but I didn't do it alone. Without Mr. Rockstar being by my side for the majority of that, my family, the doctors, the amazing ICU staff, including that nurse that told us, hey, you need to get her down to ER, who paved the way so that we didn't have to wait in the ER, and my dad's voice in my head, I would not have been able to do everything that I did. After my mom came home from the hospital, I tried to get back to normal. I forced myself to do the things that I do, to journal, to create art, to write. I participated in NaNoWriMo. I made videos. I wrote a few blog posts. I changed a few things up. But forcing myself to do things felt wrong. I knew I needed to do them. It was cathartic. But at the same time, I knew that what I wanted and needed to do had changed in a way, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I started changing things up. I created Journey with Burgess as the website instead of therightburgesstaylor.com. I switched to B6 size notebooks, traveler's notebooks. I started urban sketching, plein air sketching. I got out of my comfort zone. I realized I had changed so much that what I had been doing wasn't really resonating with me the way that it had before. And up until this point, up until that point, I hadn't truly thought about myself, Burgess Taylor, or Journey with Burgess as a business. But I knew I needed to go all in. My passion, my work, my business. I had to follow my dreams. I had to pursue and achieve my goals. I took a long, hard look at the goals I'd had for 2017 and realized I had come shy of a lot of them. And the reason that I had come shy of a lot of them was because I didn't believe in myself enough. I didn't have that confidence, that mindset. I want to inspire and motivate and share and reach a broader audience, to reach more people. And in order to do that, I needed to expand my horizons. When I talked to Patrick at Constant Contact, and no, this is not a advertisement for them. And he told me that I could do a newsletter that would include a video, a blog post, that I could set it up. It could be more of a cohesive whole to everything else that I already have going on. I was like, yes, that is me. That is me. I could do a newsletter with a coffee chat. I could do a newsletter with a blog post. I could add pictures. I could have it be something that was definitely more me. So I changed some things. I changed to make pictures match on my YouTube page and my Facebook group and my Facebook page, and I changed my little watermark on YouTube. Y'all, the picture that you see in YouTube includes this in watercolor and a coffee cup. So it is a notebook and a pen. The watermark and one of the faces that you see of me is a picture I took of this and edited it. This is what Bree drew from Documented Journey, and this is my sketchbook that I had custom made. This is so me. She hit the nail on the head. And this right here, having this notebook personalized for me, serenity is not freedom from the storm, but peace amid the storm. It changed something inside of me. It changed something inside of me. I got Happy Mail for Christmas, but first coffee, Burgess. Many of you know me. Some of you know me better than I know myself sometimes, it seems. And it has been a bit of an uphill battle to get to where I am at right now. I don't do this for the money. I work 6 to 10 hour days, and I usually am off half a day on Wednesday because I pick up Victor, and then I usually take the bulk of Sundays off. And all of you have been so supportive, but to be honest, it's definitely not for the money because I don't even make minimum wage. And I do this full time. YouTube and Patreon and all that is included with that, I do it full time. I am not making minimum wage. And I have to get to a point where I am thinking of myself as a business, and I knew I needed to do that. I knew I needed to change things. I knew I needed to broaden my horizons. And I thought, you know, what better way, after talking to Patrick about my social media stuff, what better way to expand my horizons than to do something that is authentically me? And if I go all in, they will come. I have grown at a slow and steady pace on YouTube. And before this, if you had asked me 4 years ago if I'd be on YouTube, I would have said no. If you'd asked me 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, if I'd be on Patreon, I would have asked you what Patreon was. I am a behind the camera person. The moment that you have the camera this way, for me, it becomes awkward. Now, maybe after a long while of doing vlogging and stuff, it will get easier. Won't feel quite so uncomfortable. But it doesn't matter whether I'm uncomfortable or not. I have to get out of my comfort zone. Going to urban sketching with my daughter, going to urban sketching with Mr. Rockstar, getting out there and plein air sketching has really helped me conquer some of that fear. Stephen King said, you can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. So I was brave enough to start. I was brave enough to change the website to Journey with Burgess. I was brave enough to change the pictures, to change my logo, to change the watermark, to get myself out there, to take the blogging class, be on YouTube to begin with, and now the newsletter. And the reason I'm doing the newsletter is I wanted to, one, as a way to say thank you for all of you who follow me, have a grand central location for you to kind of catch up a little, for you to see where I'm at in other places, because it has links to where I'm at in other places. For you to get a tidbit, or a long tidbit, of something extra, something just for you. So this video is unlisted. It is not in the video list for YouTube. So please don't share the link because it is only for those of you who are subscribed to the newsletter, like Patreon. They get videos, and their videos are normally just for them. Every once in a blue moon, I'll share them publicly, or I mess up something like I did with the live journal with me. And it's okay because then you get a glimpse of what I do on Patreon. This newsletter is the short version, a once a month share of a little bit of what I do on Patreon, because this is definitely more personal. This is definitely an extra. It's exclusive. Some of these terms are kind of new to me. But I had to get outside of my own head. I had to think of things differently. I had to change my mindset. And I wanted to grow my passion. My passion is to share. My money from YouTube, what little bit of money I do get, goes back into Journey with Burgess. Same with Patreon. Every now and again I will pay a bill with money from Patreon, but normally Mr. Rockstar prefers that my money from all of this go back into all of this so that his money doesn't have to cover any of this. But out of pocket, it does sometimes. And I can't put that burden on his shoulders anymore. I had to figure out a way to change things. Things had changed so much. When I took that blogging class, I realized I had a way. I had already had a way. When Patrick pointed it out to me, all I needed really was a boost. The newsletter would help. Sharing my videos and my blog posts and pictures and things on social media like Pinterest and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook groups would expand my horizons. I would be able to reach more people. I would be able to grow more. Why I hadn't realized that, I don't know. I think because my mindset was, I don't know that people will really want to see me like this. I didn't have the confidence. I didn't believe in myself. I did not believe that anybody in any of the other Facebook groups, like the Traveler's Notebook groups or people who search on Pinterest and things like that, would really be interested in me and what I'm doing and what I have to say or what I have to show. I didn't have that kind of confidence. But the people who've grown on YouTube, the people who've grown with their websites, have done those things. They have shared those things that they're doing on social media so that more people have an opportunity to see them, because not everybody is on Facebook. Not everybody is on Instagram. Not everybody is on Twitter. Not everybody checks out YouTube. Some people are only on certain types of social media. The newsletter. If YouTube, with all of the stuff that's going on with YouTube, were to end, the ad apocalypse became worse. When I was reading all the information from the blogging class, is that you need an email list of the people who follow you. You need to be able to have a way to say, hey, look, I'm here. I signed up for the newsletter. Signed up with Constant Contact, and I could have went with MailChimp or one of those other ones that are free, but this really puts mine out there in a way that I wanted, in a way that stands for me. It's like the custom jellyfish that I want to have made. I've been waiting until I figured out what I really wanted, and now I know what I really want. I want a B6, a B6 wide, and I want it to have Michael Whalen's picture of the Dark Tower in the Field of Roses with the shadow of the Gunslinger of Roland. That's from the Dark Tower series, The Gunslinger, the first book. It is beautiful. And I want like a full moon at dusk in the background of where the tower's at. And then that's more artistic, more business, more professional on the outside. And then on the inside, I want it to be more fun. I want Snoopy as the gunslinger in the Field of Roses with the full moon and the tower. And I want the tower to look more like the dog, more like a doghouse. I want more fun on the inside. And it took me a long time to figure out exactly what I want. I also would like to have a trifold B6, my custom colors. I thought, as an artist, as a writer, as a blogger, as a creative person living a creative life, it's time for me to stand up. It's time for me to go all in. It's time for me to get out of my comfort zone and to do something fun, to do something that I can share that will hopefully inspire and motivate and give you a glimpse of me in a little bit of a different way. So I'm hoping that in the future, in the next few months, I will be able to do a giveaway. I'm hoping that in the next few months, I will be able to create a PDF and have a printable for those of you who would want one. If you're interested in something like that, I do little stuff. I just do cute doodles that would make really cute stickers if you wanted. They would make cute tip ins or things for your journal pages or your bullet journal. I'm finding my way, and I'm glad that you're here and that you're sharing the journey with me. So before I end this, I'm going to insert some clips of some of the prior video that I created for this when attempting to finally do this. This is only about the 7th time I've actually tried to make this video. I don't know what it was about this video that had my anxiety stirred up. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for joining the newsletter and for following. Y'all have a great one. I will see you again soon. Next newsletter's coffee chat will be on a topic that of your choosing. So if you have a topic you'd really like for me to cover, not aside from the Q&A, because some of you have asked some questions, please feel free to put it in the comments below. I am not technology suave. I am not techie. I am old school. This has to be the 6th time I have tried to create this video. I'm not joking. The anxiety was about to kill me. I had overwhelmed myself by overthinking all of it to the point where I told Tamara, I don't know why I'm doing this. Why am I doing this again? She told me just be you. So thanks to her, I did a poll in my Facebook group, Journey with Burgess, and asked some questions. And one of the questions is, money weren't an option, what art supplies or stuff like that what would I want on a wish list? Now I'm going to leave a link in the blog post and in this description bar for my wish list on Amazon. This, what I want, can't be found on Amazon. These are leather quill shop traveler's notebooks, A5, A6. This is the Picos. On my wish list would be a B6 wide or B6 Picos. She doesn't make them anymore. They don't have that leather anymore. But that would be on my wish list. When I was 7 years old, the Christmas before that, I had gotten a pink diary with a lock and a key. I wrote in it some, but not a whole lot. I think it was a pink Barbie diary with a little lock and key. But my daddy died a few months before the end of 2nd grade. And when he died, that diary and books became my best friends. I became an avid reader. By the time I was finished with the 3rd grade, I was reading at a 6th or 7th grade reading level. I was writing in the diary pretty much every day, and instead of writing Dear Diary, I crossed out the little diary part, I think, if I remember correctly, and wrote Daddy. That's how I started journaling. I started out with Dear Diary style journals. I was a loner. I was a geek. Back then, it would have actually been a nerd. So not a geek because I'm not techie. I was a nerd. I was an avid reader. I was a pretty good student, but I had ADHD back then and didn't know it. And back then, girls didn't have ADHD. But I was always paying attention to everything else and talking too much in class and being distracted easily and being late for everything and disorganized. We didn't know anything about acid-free stuff back in the 70s and the 80s. Okay, y'all. I am 50. I will be 51 in July. So that might answer one question. I love the written word. I love doodling. I used to doodle almost a form of Zentangle, actually. But I'm not real big on line work now. My anxiety, I don't like line work really like that. I'm not a big, I don't do that kind of doodling. That actually causes me anxiety. So when I'm filming with this one, I'm looking right here. So I'm looking over to the side instead of looking directly where I'm supposed to be looking. I need to put like a dot or a focus. If I focus on this Canon thing right here, it works okay. When everything changed for me at the end of the year with my dad's death, it had me thinking, what did I want to do? I wanted to improve Patreon and YouTube. Taking that short hiatus from YouTube and Patreon when my dad died, I missed it. I missed y'all. I didn't miss editing videos, but I did miss y'all. I did miss the interaction. I missed the comments. And that was an eye-opener for me. And I had to stop myself. Stop right into my tracks and reevaluate a lot of things. What did I really want to do? I kept hearing what my dad told me a few weeks before he got really ill and then before he died. And my dad believed in me, which is why I have that plaque back there on the wall. Some of the questions, because this is going to end up a long video if I don't rein myself in. If money were no object, what dream supplies would I try that I don't have now? I want an HP sprocket. I have a Selfie CP900, y'all. And that was new. That's new to me. It's not new. Like, I didn't buy it brand new. I'd like one of those light boxes. I'd like to try that. Surface Pro or a iPad or where you draw. I do need a new laptop. Mine is on the fritz, so I've already had it fixed 3 times now, so I don't think there's really any much that can be done about that laptop now. If money weren't an object, I'd try M. Graham watercolors, try Holbein watercolors, Schminke watercolors in the tube, gouache, those distress stamp things, a Cricut, where I could make my own stickers. I'd order my right now, I'd email Janelle and I would get the ball rolling with my custom Janelle. If money weren't an object, I'd want that damn Pilot Vanishing Point, that sunrise, the sunburst, whatever, the one with the red, or if that one's impossible to find, I want the red with the silver trim where the clip, the silver clip and the silver trim right here, but it has the rhodium or the whatever, the gold or the rhodium or whatever it is nib, the nicer nib, so that the vanishing point is like a flex. I'm more of a medium nib writer, and then I'm a fine or an extra fine drawer. And I also like the stub and the italic. I like the italic for writing and the stub or the broad for drawing as well, for the bigger, thicker lines. Yeah, I want an expensive fountain pen. That vanishing point looks like the bomb. There are also a few other fountain pens I would really like that would be on my wish list. I just would never pay. The most I've paid for a fountain pen has been my rose-colored TWSBI 580 AL that I just got. That was part of my Christmas. Paying $60 for a fountain pen was a lot for me. I'm on a budget, and so let's talk about a few things while we're on the subject, which is one of the questions that came up. Somebody asked if I could pick 5 art journal things. It says pick 5 art journal along things. What would I choose? So to take along, I guess, if I were to pick 5 art journal things to take with me, is what I'm assuming that means. I took the pens off of my Delphonics pouch and put them on my book bag. So because they were breaking, I've actually lost 1 or 2, and I didn't want to lose any more of them. I took them off the bag, because taking the bag in and out of bags, these get caught on the edges of things, and I didn't want them to break. Book bag story. Mr. Rockstar had my Swiss Army book bag, and my book bag made by the Swiss Army. The same people make the Swiss Army knives. And I had a watch that needs to be repaired right now by them. And he was using it for work. He parks and then he walks a mile to get to where the big truck is. They have to have a badge to get in, and they're only allowed to take like a bag. So he was using my book bag. Well, he broke it. My Swiss Army book bag, he broke it. So I ended up ordering him a book bag. I have my saddleback leather messenger bag / backpack, but I've had it for like 8 years and it's not completely broken in yet. I took it with me Sunday when we went to Starbucks and I did my urban sketch day, and I realized when I was pulling the bag and the things in and out that I really need to start actually putting books and my laptop and my tablet and stuff in there, and using putting books in it to stretch it out some, heavier stuff to stretch it out some, carrying it around with me. But it is weighty because it is real thick leather. I love it though. I ordered Mr. Rockstar the black JanSport that looks just like this. He said, well, after that comes in, the next paycheck, he was like, get you one. Well, his was $39 and some change, and it Amazon Prime, so I didn't have to pay for shipping. It did, however, take like 3 or 4 days to get here instead of the 2 days. I looked and I found the Kipling bag on eBay that matches my case. I love this. It's supposed to be like windows, but to me, and it does look a bit like it is window, but to me it looks like little traveler's notebooks. I mean, I love the way it looks. It has all my favorite colors in it. And then I have a little purple monkey, y'all. Wanted that. Oh, I wanted that book back. And it's still on eBay. It's $69 and some change plus shipping. And I just could not see paying $69 and some change plus shipping, so 70 something dollars for a book bag. JanSports are really good. This is the Viking Red, and this was $40, y'all. So after going Sunday, realized I packed way too much, and I had set this up to do a video for Patreon. So it's a good thing Patreon is getting this early because I have not filmed it yet. So what I have done is set this backpack up as if I were going to go journaling, plein air sketching, urban sketching, or to my mom's. Now the only difference is with this, I have one extra traveler's notebook in it, my regular one, and then I would also, if I were going to my mom's, I would most likely put the Hobonichi because my planner is the everything planner in it. This and my weeks usually goes in my purse. It has this mesh pocket on the outside. And I'm going to tell you the 5 things that I can't live without when I do art. Art. Not journaling, regular art, but sketching, I have realized, because it's different. My journaling is different than the sketching. I need more stuff to journal. I don't need that much to sketch. I got 3 of these from Dollar Tree. It came in a pack. It's 2 of these and then the little spray bottle, and you'll see those in there. But this is the extra one. And actually what happens is I have one for clean water and one for dirty water. So in this front zipper pocket, I'd have my phone. I can take pictures with it, and my phone doesn't take good pictures. So in this part, I have my knife. This is, my dad gave me this. It has a place in here to put sunglasses, and my sunglasses would go in there, but they're not in there right now. Have my Snoopy pen case, and this has my journaling stuff in it. And normally this would be in there. So I have the Stettler, the 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7. I have this Faber-Castell Echo Pigment 0.7 that came in an Art Snacks box. I have the Hybrid Gel Grip DX White pen. I have this Japanese pen that is water soluble, that has the writing nib at one end and the brush nib at the other. That came in Art Snacks. I have my Twisby Mini, which has, I believe, the turquoise ink. It has the turquoise ink in it. I have a water brush. It's the bigger. I can actually take this one and use this one for everything if I needed to. I have my Platinum Plazar fountain pen, and this is the medium nib, and it has platinum carbon ink in it, and I can actually draw with this if I need to. This is my Twisby Rose Colored 580 AL. It has J. Urban Rose Scented ink in it. And, oh, man. No, you can't. This is not really a pen you write posted, because the posting thing doesn't work. It twists that thing, which is how the ink moves. But it is a smooth writer, and I love this pen. And then I have a Platinum Preppy with platinum carbon ink in it. And like I said, the Jinhao, which is the fancy Jinhao, this is the more expensive Jinhao, actually goes in there as well. And I have Palmer's Cocoa Butter Lip Balm. And then this right here, I can hook my keys to, or my extra thumb drive to. My thumb drive is right now in the saddleback leather hooked to the little hook in there, so I'll have to get it out because I could put the tablet in here if I needed to, but most of my tech equipment, my tablet, my laptop, that stuff goes in the other backpack. So in this little pocket, I have my camera. This is actually my vlog camera. This is a lot easier. Mr. Rockstar knows how to use this one for the most part. Don't take the fancy camera with me when I'm going urban sketching or plein air sketching unless it's just in my yard, because then I have to take the bigger camera case and the stuff, and I don't want to do that. I use this. If I do go to my mom's or somewhere where I don't mind taking the camera case, I will, but I'm not taking this camera urban sketching. it costs too much money. So then we get to the big part. And like I said, if I were going to my mom's, because this is the everything planner. This is actually my planner bag, this little red Snoopy bag, and it has my mile liners in it. We haven't really gotten to what I couldn't live without yet, the camera, but I could actually live without it because I don't have to take pictures or film. I like having a picture for a reference though. But this is an older model of the Fujifilm instant camera. It's more for journaling though. This is my B6 Jellyfish in my custom colors. This is what my sketchbook is. And my sketchbook is the custom notebook that Bree from Documented Journey made. I ordered it, and this is one of the things I couldn't live without. And this is the B6 leather quill, and I don't know which one it is. It's brown. It's kind of ripply. It's pliable, but it's stiffer than the Picos and it's thicker than the Picos. So in this, which is my everything traveler's notebook, I have this cafe note from Nanami Paper. It is my small everyday sort of bullet journal. When I'm sitting at my desk, this stays open, and I write down notes. If I need it, if I make an appointment or whatever, I write down things in here. This is a as I go kind of thing. It's as I get things done or have ideas and things like that. So it's actually more of an everyday / idea bullet journal or notebook or whatever. And then the other cafe note that I do my morning pages in and stuff like that, I don't keep it in here anymore. I either keep that on my nightstand or on the end table in the living room because I don't need it in the traveler's notebook. I'm not doing anything in there but morning pages, evening pages, that kind of thing. So it's the personal journaling. This is the prototype from Bree's Documented Journeys Etsy shop for the one with Tomoe River paper. And I tried this. I've done a little bit of everything in this. I'm really liking this. As I've done like a little bit of everything, I'm going to do more of this kind of stuff in here, where stuff I practice at home, not where I go out. This is a sketchbook when I go places or go in the yard, plein air sketching, urban sketching. I may do some stuff in the house in it, but mostly this is my sketchbook. My dream notebook would be 68 GSM dot grid paper, the Enigma paper, made the way that Bree this journal, but with Enigma paper. And the only reason I say that is because this Tomoe River paper, this is the blank, so no grid, no line, and my handwriting slants. Seriously. And it's the 52 GSM, which means it's really thin. Now I like the change, and what would be the perfect journal is to alternate 52 GSM and 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. So for some things you could have the thinner, and then some things you could have the thicker. And I guess I'm gonna have to go to where Bree lives and get Bree to teach me how to create these journals. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But that would be my perfect journal. Now, I'm not saying she needs to make that. But what I have figured out is that I can take an Enigma and cut it down to B6 size. I don't have an extra Enigma. I need to get a few and see if I can get this as a printable and put it on the outside of my cut down Enigmas. Or get a pencil board, have a thin one like this, but with my face on it. How narcissistic is that? I just like having the quote in my face. It makes it very personal. This is my notebook, and that's me on the front of my notebook. I love that how personal it's customized. So getting 50 pages of the 52 GSM for certain kinds of things, like stuff like this. And actually, I could actually make a copy of this because it is not lined. It has no dots. I could do this, sketch it, make a copy of it, create a PDF, then watercolor it, make a copy of it, create a PDF, for my patrons, because every now and again I do PDFs, and then I wouldn't have to worry about the dots showing up when you scan it, or the lines, or any of that, and doing just some fun artwork. So as I was thinking about what would be the perfect notebook, I realized that there's no such thing as a perfect notebook. Now, if I made it myself and I alternated between plain 52 GSM Tomaway River paper and then 68 GSM dot grid, it would be the perfect notebook if Bree made that journal for me. I can't make it. I've tried binding, I've tried sewing, I've tried making journals. Unless Bree helped me make it, or somebody else did, but I like how she made it's not getting made because I suck at it. Anyway, never mind, because this is getting way too long. Let's just say, Bree, I want a printable to go on the front of these journals that aren't yours, and then I can't wait until you get the Tomaway River paper in, and I'll be customizing it with my face on it again. I'll be putting my face on it again, and I will be getting the 50 pages of this. I like the B6 regular size. Okay, next thing. This is set up for journaling. It normally sits on my desk, on my art desk or the craft table where I do stuff. So the pens on the outside, I have the Pilot Color Eno in red, the pencil, mechanical pencil. I have the Uniball Signo in red, and this is actually red. It is 0.38. This is red. This is not that BS red that I ordered, and the other that were supposed to be red. And this one, these were supposed to be red. They're fuchsia. They're actually more like a Pepto-Bismol pink. Not red. They're not red. I have this Amsterdam acrylic marker. It's a white marker. It is an acrylic marker, and this works really well for stuff for white that you want to be permanent. Lastly, they were on the outside. These are water brushes. They come in the 3 different sizes. And this pen, this is the Pilot Multi-Ball, and it is, I don't know, but I got it from Jet Pens, and this is becoming one of my favorites. Waterproof. I really like using this when I'm going to use the monoliners. I like using this in the Hobonichi. It writes so great. For as far as pens that aren't fountain pens that I really like, this and the Faber-Castells and the Micron Pitt Artist Pen. I like the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens and the Microns. Love this. This has become one of my favorite regular pens. I have my date stamp. Ooh, glue stick. One of the things I couldn't live without for regular journaling. Pencil lead for my mechanical pencil. The eraser. Q-tips in case I need them. The spritzer. The other water bottle. My Snoopy Post-its. My small scissors that have the cap. And these aren't pointed, y'all. And then on the front, I have clips. And back here in the long portion, I have some of the longer things. This is a Prismacolor. This is pink and the white. This is a magnetic bookmark. I have 2 clips, a regular paper clip, and then this is shaped like an apple. I have a empty Starbucks gift card. I have my coffee post-it notes, the cloud post-it notes, rulers and stencils, and then in the very bottom, like I said, in that section, I have my mechanical pencil. This came in Art Snacks box. My Lamy Joy with the broad or stub nib, and the slim, or I think that's what that is, Faber-Castell, and the white and the pink Prismacolor pencils. And then I have this cute little charm that's the coffee cup that I was sitting Happy Mail. This is my Snoopy charm that goes on the zipper. Inside here, I have a washcloth that was Victor's when he was a baby. I also have some handkerchiefs that belonged to my dad, and a handkerchief that was Maya's. My watercolor travel kit, and this is mostly Schminke. It has a couple of Daniel Smiths in it, but mostly this is Schminke. I have the little letter stickers if I want to put a word or something on my journal pages. I have a block for stamps, a thing of washi. These are flowers. Another Starbucks empty gift card. I like using those to get stuff down to cut washi tape with. This is my latte date handmade watercolors. Most of the time when I go on an urban sketch date, I'm having coffee. My stamp pad for my date stamp and for any other little stamp. I don't really carry stamps in here. I had some stamps in here, but I don't have them in here anymore. If I were going to my mom's and I had something specific in mind, I would, but mostly that's just for the date stamp because I'm not really a big stamp person. So I got this roll, this pen roll, I should say, from Jet Pens. Isn't it adorable? It matches my book bag for the most part. It's a really pretty color, dark red, and this is, I want to say, a dark brown or maybe a black. Might be black. It's a black brown anyway. So I have the Uniball Signo Angelic white pen and that hybrid gel pen again. So I don't need this hybrid gel pen, so I can put it up. I have my travel watercolor brushes. These came with the set from Amazon. And then inside here, I have a really little tiny one that once you open up, it's a very tiny one. These are all synthetic sable. I would like to get the, on my wish list, if money weren't an object, I would get the silver black velvet travel brush set. I really like those. I really like the silver black velvet brushes. I have both of my TWSBI Echoes. This has Noodler's Bulletproof Black in it now. This is the Noodler's Conrad Flex Pen. It's a clear demonstrator. This is one of the newer ones. I haven't had any problems. I cleaned it out real good, cleaned the nib real good, let it soak in hot water, and then have been using it with Noodler's Heart of Darkness, which is the recommended ink for these, and I have not had any problems since I played around with it and cleaned it really good and then let it soak in hot water. And this is the TWSBI Echo, and this is my clear one. These, both my Echoes are fine nibs. This has this really dark red, kind of coppery red color in it. I like to, when I'm going to draw with black ink and I'm not going to do any watercolor, I like to sketch with that dark red ink with the black permanent ink. This is the Tombow Fudinesky pen that came in the Arts Next box. My Pilot Pereira Fine, which is a bit scratchy and skips a little, but it has Polar Brown in it. Noodler's Polar Brown. And then this is the Platinum Carbon Desk pen that I MacGyvered. Romany. Thank you, Romany, for telling me about how to do this. I noticed that Bree also has hers MacGyvered. Romney was like, oh, you can do it, and it took me 6 months to finally get up the nerve to finally do that. And then I have the Pilot Color Eno in the really light blue. I really like drawing with the light blue and the red pencils. So that would be this pen case. I couldn't live without, because most of the things that I would need for urban sketching I actually have right here in this case. The only thing that's not in this, and that's simply because it will not fit in this, is the Lamy Joy. It has the broad nib. I really like drawing, and it has platinum carbon ink in it. I really like drawing the wider lines with the Lamy Joy. So that's the only thing, like I said, that's not in here that should actually be in here as far as journal supplies that I couldn't live without, that I would bring along. For urban sketching or journaling or anything, it's everything in this case right here. That's it. What I couldn't live without would be what's in this. My watercolors, the water, the journal. Because the pens are in here, the watercolors are right here, the journal, and I have the travel brushes and these things of water, so I don't need these. I could either take these and not the travel brushes, either one. If I'm going out in the yard and I don't have a surface to be mixing things, I usually take these. I take these. I usually, if I'm going in the yard, I'll take my journal in this bag, and then that's it. If I'm doing plein air sketching at a park, then I take the knapsack. But if I'm just going in my backyard or in my front yard, I usually just take this bag and my journal. So it's whatever will fit in this bag for plein air sketching around here. I don't take everything. I take the camera out of the bag. So I think that answers that. Do I read my old journals? Rarely. Do I have all of my old journals? No, but I have the journals for the last few years that I've been journaling. Do I let anyone else read them? The art journals, I do. The Hobonichi, sketchbook, that kind of stuff. Most of my family has looked at those and read them. My nephews, my kids, my mom, Mr. Rockstar, some of his family. When did I discover watercolor, and have I taken any classes? And if so, what? Which classes? I have taken the drawing class from sketchbook schools. Not a watercolor class, but a drawing class. I took Miss Vicky B's very first journaling course that she did. But other than that, I haven't taken any other art classes like that at all since high school. I have watched a ton of videos on YouTube and have some favorites that I watch over and over again. I would like to take Liz Steele's classes. I would like to become a patron of the Mind of Watercolor. I would love it. If I could take, there are quite a few people who offer classes and stuff for watercolor for beginners that I would like to take. Kathy Johnson has a class. There are quite a few others. I haven't gotten to the point where I've learned on my own or through watching other people do it and seeing myself when I film and edit my videos, my journal with me's. I see what I do wrong, and I watch other people and see what they do to learn. I discovered watercolor through journaling Miss Vicky B and Romney, and there were a bunch of other people who were doing journals and journal with me's and Fominichi and Hobonichi and sketchbook and stuff like that. And I found that I started out with colored pencils because that was what I had. Had some of my daughter's old Prismacolor pencils. And then my daughter gave me a 12 count set of Prisma watercolor pencils. So I started out with watercolor pencils. And then I got a cheap watercolor set, and I went from there. The Prisma watercolor pencils really turned things around for me, and the Fobonichi journalers group, and watching people do Hobonichi pages. There is a person, 2 or 3 people in the Fobonichi journalers group, Yukari, Suzali, and a couple of other people that really just wowed me. And we talked and I asked questions, and they were really good about answering questions. And that's how I got into watercolors, and watching like I said, a ton of YouTube videos. I really thank you for watching. I feel like my voice is hoarse now and I've talked way too much, but I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon. And thanks for watching. Bye.